Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.
Hey everybody, so I wanted to highlight a open source tool that everyone can take advantage of that I've put out there. So this is what I call the Service Manager. So this is essentially a way to run LabVIEW-built code as a service, meaning that if you're running on Windows, you can configure your code to run headlessly and automatically when the computer gets power. Once the operating system boots, the service launches. And you can configure those to either run on user accounts, on custom accounts, or just as a Windows system function. And this also includes the ability to start services, stop services, install them, remove them, etc. So this is built on top of NSSM. So you can see NSSM is here. And then there are wrapper functions for different NSSM functions. So, starting a service, stopping a service, getting the status of a service, restarting, removing, launching the installation dialog, getting parameters from the service, and just getting info about NSSM. And we'll dive in a little bit more into how these are working, but they all basically look like this, where you've got the NSSM kind of name at the top and then the name of the function there. So these are all usable as on their own, just as an API. You can just drop them and use them as you need to. This also comes though with a GUI. So you can view all the services that are running, view details about them, and just click buttons to start and stop different services. So if I run this, for example, the first thing it's going to do is check that the program was run as an administrator. So it will work not as an administrator, but you're going to have limited capabilities. So for example, you can't start and stop services, reset services, whatnot, without being an administrator. It does on startup load a list of all of your services that are running over here. And you can click on a service you want, and it will query information about it. So it'll load it in, let you know if it's running or not, information about the service, start, where it can be found, descriptions, all sorts of stuff. So you can go in and look for information about different services and whatnot. So like NIRIO server, right? I can learn about what NIRIO server is, and if I wanted to, I could start it, stop it, etc. You also can go ahead and type in a service name here, and it will search for it if you know the name. So NIROCO, and I can hit enter there, and it queried that. So now all of this updated to show the information about the NI route coordinator. And yeah, that's makes it really easy to just administer services, similar to the services GUI that ships with Windows, but you can kind of customize this and fine tune it for your specific needs. And like I mentioned, on this service, if I wanted to stop this, I could just click stop service and it will stop. If I wanted to reset it, hit reset. If it's not running, this one is running, you can see that right there. I could just click start and it'll start it, and I get a little dialogue on all these that say if the action I requested was successful. And then if I click add service, I get a little dialogue that will allow me to configure, hey, where's the EXE that I want to run as a service? What do I want to call it? What do I want the description to be? All that stuff. And then it can be installed. I can remove it. This will take me to the NSSM website, and this will let me download NSSM. But it does ship with this package, so if you just go and clone this repository or just download it, you'll get NSSM with it. And if you use the build spec that's included in this project, it also will transfer NSSM with the EXE to program files for you where it's looking for it in this code. And as a kind of a side note, I do have a manifest built in that if you build this exe, it will force this to be run as an administrator. So you don't have to, forget that you didn't run it as an administrator and go rerun it. Just anytime you go to run this, it will make it run as an administrator. And we can kind of take a look at what this is doing. There's really not a ton to it. Yeah, but as you can see, we have like these install dialog where we're just running basically a command line prompt, pulling the path to NSSM and specifying some details there. Really not a whole lot going on. Here we're getting a list of all of the services that are running and doing some filtering there. Downloading, can query the status of services, and these are all basically just command line arguments to NSSM. Relatively simple, and then just doing some parsing and whatnot to get the parameters, all this information we want back from NSSM. Starting, stopping services, etc. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It is a fully ready to go application, so you can just go build the exe, build the installer, and use it as is. But it's also open source, so if you want to take this and modify it to accommodate your needs, you're welcome to. Or if you just want to use these NSSM API functions, you can just copy those and throw them into your code however you best see fit. But awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in.